Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and click on notifications so you don't miss out on the fun. In our first story, a choosing beggar won't accept that her pregnant friend won't help her move out of her house. I find it strange too. Most manual laborers are pregnant women, right? Let's jump right in. Okay, so this happened a few years back, long before the pandemic. Me and my husband had been trying to get pregnant for 2 years, and we finally went through a fertility clinic, and we were finally pregnant and couldn't be more excited. At about the 6-week mark, I had a friend call me up out of the blue. We knew them well, but it was mostly through Facebook and text as we didn't live close to one another. We chatted for a bit. I mentioned my pregnancy and she told me how they were moving and wanted to borrow my husband's truck so they could save a little bit of money. I asked my husband and he said it was fine. Here's how it went. "So how do you want to do this? Are you going to come and pick it up?" I asked. "I really don't have the time. I'm still packing up stuff. Can you drop it off and we can hang out and afterwards you can take it back home?" I wasn't thrilled about driving all that way, but I had already pretty much agreed, so I said okay that I'd drop by and bring the truck with me. Once I arrived, she was still wrapping things up and packing things away. I was kinda hoping she would have it mostly packed away, but it was only just a few boxes. I sighed but asked if I could help her a little bit. "Where is your husband? Wasn't he coming too?" she asked. "No, he's still working right now. Why would he be coming anyway?" I asked because they didn't know each other too well and he was working. "But I needed him to haul the heavy stuff. I can't do it by myself," she began to whine. I said, we offered to let you borrow the truck, not to help you pack and haul things. And just so you know, I can't stay here all day long. I don't really like driving at night." Then I asked, "Why don't I come back tomorrow when you have more packed and are ready to go?" "I still need help though with the heavy stuff. I think we can move it ourselves," she said. I really can't be lifting things over 25 pounds. True, I was only 6 weeks along, but since it took us so long to get pregnant in the first place, I wasn't going to do anything that could potentially harm my baby. Besides, I never agreed to help her move in the first place. "Don't be stupid, you can help me out. You're barely pregnant anyway," she said condescendingly. Now that comment made me mad. Okay, first off, there is no such thing as barely pregnant. You either are or are not. There is no in between. Second, I never said I was going to help you move. I said you could borrow the truck. Third, I'm going back home now, so you can figure this all out on your own. I know she was screaming at me as I left and was blowing up my phone for a while before she just gave up. I later read a post on Facebook about how I had promised her all this BS and then flaked out on her, but thankfully it was removed. Not sure if she deleted it or what, but I wish I had saved a screenshot to share on here. But oh well. We haven't spoken in a long while, but honestly, I don't need that type of person in my life. In story number 2, a choosing beggar learns that crocheting isn't free. So I just saw a post about a family wanting free art, and that reminded me of this story. I make crocheted items, toys, clothing, baby stuff, dice bags, etc. And I made a ton of stuff for my boyfriend at the time because it was good practice when I started out at 17. I ended up making him a really intricate dice bag for D&D that had hundreds of stitches. Took me a couple of weeks to make, had designs I had to sew into it after it was crocheted, etc. Like this thing was detailed and intense. I've made skirts that took less time and effort than this dice bag. My fingers literally would lock up while making this because I would do it for hours at a time. Eventually, it was done. I gave it to him for Valentine's Day and he was very impressed and grateful. I also got girlfriend points since I make it for D&D, and at the time I had no interest in that. Well, his mother saw it and asked if I could crochet something similar for her for a purse. I told her I could, but it'd probably be a couple of months and the yarn alone would be at least $50, maybe more depending on colors and what designs she wanted on it. She said she'd buy all my supplies and her friend had some yarn she wanted to get rid of anyways, so I wouldn't have to worry about the price and I could start it later that night. Keep in mind, it was Valentine's Day. I politely said that I only work with certain yarn because I don't like dye coming off on my fingers, and since this piece would take at least 2 months, probably more, I didn't want to risk being stained for my prom or senior pictures. She tried arguing and then said after I bought the materials I could give her the receipt and she'd pay me back. Y'all, I was so uncomfy. I told her very quietly that I would need the money up front because I couldn't risk not getting paid back for it since I had just spent so much on my boyfriend's gift and I was trying to save money. She got all huffy and said she'd only give me $50 and she wanted me to buy special hooks made of bamboo because they're better for the yarn. I told her that a completely new set of hooks and needles made of bamboo would probably be over $30 for a halfway decent set, and I didn't think $50 would even cover the yarn, much less the yarn and the new hooks. She started going off on me for being a gold digger and told my boyfriend he couldn't date me. Again, I was 17, and while his grandparents were fairly well off, his mother was not at all. I also had never had her pay for anything for me, and if we went out, I always tried to pay for myself unless she was snippy about it. He was a mama's boy, but actually told her that I was trying to be nice, since when I had talked about making a purse for myself, I said that I had to wait since the yarn would be about $75-ish, and he pointed out all the hours it would take for me to do it, etc. And I was just wanting to make sure the materials were covered, not even my time. Of course, she ended up not wanting me to make anything for her since I was too stuck up. Fine by me. We carried on with our Valentine's Day, but she brought up how I was too stuck up to make her a purse for a reasonable price for years afterwards. It went on and on until we broke up. In today's final story, A Choosing Beggar is so disappointed that she tells ROP that she wasn't raised right. So I was trying to sell my bed for a week on Facebook Marketplace when this lady messages me. I'll call her Karen. My bed was originally listed for $400. Karen asks if she can have it for $350, and I was fine with that. Karen said she was going to pick it up the next day. I wasn't going to be home at the time, so I gave her my mom's phone number as my mom had agreed to do the transaction for me. Well, the entire day goes by and Karen never shows up. No call, no text, nothing. During the day, I'd had 2 other people contact me about it. I told them to give me a day to see if Karen was still coming to get it. Then I messaged Karen to ask if she was still interested. Karen texted back saying sorry, she had been busy today. I suggested that she could come tomorrow, Saturday, but I didn't get a response. The next day, Sunday, Karen finally responded with this long story about how she had gone to a party and that was why she didn't answer me. I said, okay, well, can you come on Monday then? At this point, I had been holding it for her since Friday and now had 3 other people who kept asking me about it. Monday isn't going to work for me. So I told her, okay, I'm going to open it up to other people. I have a few who are interested. She then asked me, does that mean they will have the option to buy the bed? I was like, yes, otherwise why would I open it up to them? She said, okay, well if someone buys it then I guess it wasn't meant to be. When I messaged the other people, immediately one woman said she would take it. She Venmo'd me half the money straight away and set a time to pick it up the next morning. I tell her that is awesome and give her my address. But guess what? Karen messages me first thing Monday morning. I'm just on my way over to pick up the bed. I'm so sorry, but the bed is already sold. She acts confused. What do you mean? I woke my dad up early just to come get the bed. I'm already on my way over. Sorry, Karen, someone bought it when you said that you couldn't come Monday. I thought we were done at that point, but Karen ended up calling my mom and yelling at her to give her the bed. She told her to call the lady who bought the bed and tell her that she can't have it. She went into the usual choosing beggar spiel. She is a single mom, she is struggling through the pandemic. Eventually, she hung up on us. Later, I received a Facebook message saying, "I'm a liar and my mom isn't raising me right." This is John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.